foremost to thank everybody here for coming today. Not only do I know that you have other things you could be doing, you have other things you should be doing, right? So I just want to make that known, and the sacrifice that you guys have all made to come over here is greatly appreciated. So thank you so much. We had a few show up at the happy hour last night. That was a good time, so thank you as well for coming out. Not only thanks for coming out today, but thanks for the partnership. I mean, really and truly, a lot of you we've been working with for 2 decades, and even those who it's not been that long, some of you it's been just a couple of months. We really don't take any of these relationships for granted, and they mean the world to us. So thank you. And lastly, thank you to our team, Team Liberty, for putting this together. I mean, the event has really just been outstanding. Collaborative effort. It's been really fun to see over the last couple of months. Different parts of the team talking about, oh, we should show off this and we can show off that. And Darlene from Graphic Information said, you know, it just really showed how much people enjoy and how much pride they take in the work that they do. And I just am forever grateful for that. And a special shout out to Lori and Jenny, who have really driven the boat on the event. Both of which have been with us for just a little under a year, kind of in that time frame. And really just the work that they've done in such a short amount of time is outstanding. So thank you, ladies. Wanted to take the opportunity with so many of our important clients here today to talk about kind of the past, present, and the future. I think it's important to let everybody know kind of what our vision is, and I don't think we can do that without talking about where we've been, right? So you should have a document on your table that we call the Liberty Proof. And it just kind of gives you an idea of where the company's come from, how Tim started the business. It was in our basement in our garage back in the mid-'80s, around the time that I was born, and seeing the blood, sweat, and the tears that went into building the business is not something I ever want to forget. And I make sure our employees know the story, and they tell the story just about as good as I do now. It's also been interesting to see that when we partner with folks, kind of where we were. So Team Kenmore, when we started partnering with you guys in 2009, you know, it looks like we had about 12 employees. We were doing about $5 million in sales, and just to see where both of us have come and mutually beneficial to the growth of one another and how we've been able to succeed together was just something fun to look at for me over the last couple of days. Just some of the other milestones we've talked about on our tour, kind of when the 8-color press came in, where the expansion of the warehouse came in, and just to see how everything has just culminated to where we are today. It's been super fun for us to see. And anybody that gets proofs from us, you know, kind of just to play on the industry and of the standard of getting a proof before you know it's good to go. This is kind of our proof of we know what success looks like based on what we've done and what we've been able to do. So you'll also see on there the core values that we talked a little bit about throughout the tour and that you've seen throughout some of our documentation that we've been sending out lately. Serve, sacrifice, future focus, continuous improvement, and gratitude. That's what the business is built on. That's what we're going to continue to be. That's who we are. And our mission to be a great company with great people experiencing great results, that's going to continue to be what we are and who we are no matter what. As I've mentioned to a few of you, the last couple of years has been focused on kind of the transition, not just from Tim to me, but the old regime to kind of the new regime. And employees who dedicated so much of their time and their life to Liberty had an average tenure of 18, 20, 22 years, and just so indebted and so grateful for that piece of Liberty's history. But also now with our average tenure being 4 to 6 years, and just seeing the care and the level of pride that people take, I feel like we've kind of officially kind of transitioned over to that next generation, and it's been fun to see. It's a little scary at times, but also just super rewarding to see the success that the team's been able to accomplish. One thing that I really have not taken the time to put together, we've got our core values, we've got our mission, we know who we are, we know what we're about. We never really had a great idea of where we're going, right? Like, what was the vision for the company? I've been so focused on working in the business, and over the last couple of years have really put time and effort into working on the business. And that's something that I really just kind of like to go into a little bit in terms of the where we're going piece. I'm going to pass out some documentation here if you guys could take one and and pass it along. Lori's going to distribute out some as well. When I sat down with our leadership team to talk about, what do we want to be, where do we want to go in the next couple of years, we determined that we want to continue to do what we've done and be who we are. The difference is going to be in how we do it. So at the top of the page, you'll see kind of our future desired state, our vision statement, which in 3 years we'd like to be able to say that we have operationalized the way that we create and deliver a first-class experience for our customers and our employees by our 40th anniversary, which is in March of 2028. So just over 3 years from now. You're going to see the 6 areas of excellence and pillars of excellence that we're striving to really focus on over these next 3 years. The employee experience, developing a culture of operationalizing, sales and marketing, finance, other stakeholders, whether that be suppliers, our community, families of our employees, anybody that comes in contact with Liberty Marketing Systems, and ultimately the customer experience, right? Like, we're here because of you guys. So it all rolls up or rolls down to you, and that's really what we want the culmination of this vision to look like. And on the back side, if you're anything like me, operationalizing isn't a term that I was using very frequently up until we kind of made this declaration. But operationalization is a process for making excellence predictable and repeatable instead of haphazard and accidental. So to give you an example, we did a walkthrough of this tour and of the event a couple of weeks ago. And about 5 minutes after Kevin started his tour, I'm kind of right on their tail. And it's like, what are you saying? And why are you saying this? And then 2 minutes later, Matt and I felt like we were kind of saying the same thing, and we had a lot of success and a lot of congruency. And it was like, why don't we just standardize this and document it, and then we can evaluate it and improve it, which, as you'll see there on the right, those are the 4 actions for operationalization. And we feel that if we can do this for just about every piece of our business, we can just make things so much more clear, so much more successful, not only for us, but ultimately for you guys. And as you'll see, the 5 areas that we really want to focus on for the customer experience, we want to be your preferred choice for solving your labeling needs. As you've seen, we don't just do labels, we get into the whole thing. Tim used to say we want to be one throat to choke. That's not really socially acceptable anymore. But since we're in a small group here, we want to be your one throat to choke. So, no matter what it comes to as it relates to labeling. So we want to make our systems easy for you and for our employees to see the status of your order. If you call in, we want our team to be able to provide you with the information that you need instantaneously if it's not something that you can get for yourself. A lot of you are out on the road, not able to reach our portal or anything that might provide you that information. So we want to continue to provide that level of flexibility and really double down on our communication over the next couple of years. We want to know your needs specifically for your customers and for your end users, and have a process for evaluating what was delivered. So as we look at what we've delivered, did that meet your needs? We want to have a process to be able to evaluate that continuously and on an ongoing basis. And we want to have incorporated improvements based on whatever issues it is that we've identified. We want to provide you and your teams with industry knowledge and educational opportunities. A lot of you are out there selling labels or providing labels to end users, and you may not know all the different materials and adhesives that we can provide. That's our job. We need to be able to provide that for you, and we're looking at ways in which we can give you some of those educational pieces so that you can be a better fit for your customers and for your end users. And lastly, we want our employees to understand each customer's specific needs and individually and collectively making improvements and providing those in a way that's mutually beneficial for both us and the customer. So that's really what our focus is going to be on over these next 36, 37 months. And the one thing that we ask from you all and what we need from you is to let us know where we can improve upon that. If you see something another vendor's doing, tell us. If you see something we're not doing the best that we can do, let us know. We're not going to take it personally. We're not going to be offended. We may have had folks in the past who didn't live up to that, but we've got a different team here now, and we're ready to take things to the next level. So with that, I'd like to remind you that you've got the swag bag with just some nice gifts that the team put together as a token of our appreciation for coming out today and for the partnership over the various lengths of times that we've been together. There's a flash drive in there as well with some marketing pieces on there and just some different documentation that we've shared with you today. And just want to remind you that we've got the raffle coming up here. So if you don't have a raffle ticket, raise your hand. And if anybody has any